Welcome to today's video. So, I was reading some articles and I came across a one point that I thought I talk about with all of you. And it is an important point and it shows a big contrast between how the US deals with its markets versus how China deals with its stock market. And obviously, there's a big differences between US and China in terms of not just the culture, but the way they approach everything, life, governments, policies, etc., etc. So, what I'm going to mention in this video may not be anything new to you, but I just will still mention because it could be a good reminder. I'm on Reddit and I'm seeing a lot of like bullish comments about Baba, and sometimes I ask myself, what these comments, okay, these news are good, but at the end of the day, like many things are still haven't yet changed, fundamentally speaking. So I just feel like we're in echo chamber, and I see like a lot of people uh, like commenting on any good news coming out of China, and they see those as positive signs, and that makes sense. But we just have to be critical. Sometimes a lot of news from the company itself or the region, they're just meant to show some hope, but at the same time, the reality could be way different. So, in this video, I want to talk about this article that I read recently. This article was published mainly because China and the Chinese government, they're having their annual National People's Conference in Beijing, the capital city. So I think the Asian correspondent for, I guess, for the Global Mail, James Griffiths, he is covering that, and he wrote an article. I think today is day two. So this came out yesterday after day one. So, and this is what the article is saying. The headline is China sets ambitious growth target in the face of numerous challenges. And so, in case you haven't heard, China, they are targeting 5% growth, and which is still really good. People were expecting something a lot lower than that. Okay, I'm back. My camera had froze. So basically, as I was saying, China is targeting 5% for this year, and that's a pretty ambitious number considering how things have slowed down in China. So the official stats from last year show 5.2% growth in 2023. But and the article mentions that we have to be we have to take this number into account with a lot of skepticism because there's a lot of discrepancies in month-to-month data, and we're seeing reports from newspapers such as Bloomberg and other places telling us that China is has slowed down drastically. Okay, looks like my screen froze again. Let me just shut this down. Okay, I'm back. I had to change my camera. Hopefully, you can see me again now, and hopefully, this will not freeze anymore. Let's continue. And so, I want to go to the point I was trying to make. So, this article talks about how China, and sorry, how China or President, especially President Xi, how, and this is something I had heard before, and I guess this article reiterates this. President Xi, his top priority is not obviously the stock market, and it may, more importantly, it may not even be the growth. His priority is national security, nationalism, and I guess the people, if I can say that. He talks a lot about common people, and he talks about having equity and how he wants to reduce gap between rich and poor. So those are his priorities. The growth that we investors seek from China every year, that's not his priority. And this is something that's very clear and something that we hear about from time to time. We kind of forget about this point about President Z, mainly because every few days, few weeks, we hear different Chinese ministers saying some bullish comments about providing stimulus or enacting new policies to boost the economy. But the truth is, at the end of the day, President Xi, who by the way has a lot more power than his predecessor when it comes to the economy, is has a different approach. He is not all about growing the economy. So the point I made about him having a lot of power is important because previously, President Xi, the previous premiers, the economy would kind of be under the scope of a committee, and those are experts and they're responsible and they would drive it. But in President Xi's case, he has actually taken this portfolio under his own arm. So he has like direct influence on this, and that may not be a good thing because, as I said, like he is a President Z has a lot of personal ambitions as well, and he has his own vision, and that vision may not align with if perhaps there was a committee of independence. So, having said this, the line I wanted to share with you was here. Okay, so yes, the point the article makes is that President Z, he's not enthusiastic about stimuluses. He is not excited by them, and he is, in fact, I haven't heard him say anything about stimuluses himself. I always see his ministers talk about them, but he is more of a long-term type of person. He thinks the Chinese people and investors should ride out the crisis without much help so that markets themselves can rectify the problems and weed out any weaknesses. And so that in the long term, markets are a lot more stable and are on their own feet. So, where's that line? If I go here, yes, so this is the paragraph I was talking about. One way to improve household consumption, expand China's domestic market would be through a major stimulus. President, but President Xi Jinping is opposed to handouts, which he believes make people lazy. So that's the point I was trying to make. He does not like stimuluses. Analysts say Beijing also doesn't trust consumers to spend wisely, fearing they will pump more money into a property bubble that policy makers are trying to deflate. So this is a very good point by the way. The first point is, I had mentioned that President Jinping he doesn't like stimuluses, and secondly, he's right. They're right. Like you don't want to give money to consumers and they go and they buy products, items, assets that are already overvalued, that already have a bubble. We kind of saw that in Canada during COVID. House prices went up even higher. You don't want to do that. So this makes a lot of sense to me. Father knows best, and father will decide where the money will go, said Jacob Gunter, Elite Economics. Consumers are not going to follow the strategic goals Beijing set out. It's true. It's true. Um, so Mr. Z instead wants to focus what he calls new productive forces, and what he means by new productive forces are technology, innovation, and advanced manufacturing. So that's I think that's how it should be. Honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that. As an investor in Baba, it sucks. I feel like I'll have to wait a long time for the stock to go up because yeah. I guess I would have preferred for a stimulus so that consumers can spend money and buy things off of Baba or any other retailer. But at least at minimum, it would have given people some optimism and some confidence. But I guess not. Anyways, one thing I want to point out, this does not mean that China will not be stimulating its economy. It's just a point that one of the analysts made, or a couple of the analysts made. So I wanted to make this video just to set expectations. I don't think President Xi is like the Americans or Canadians or Westerners where they just go and try to revive the economy right away. I think his plans are more long term. They're more strategic, and yeah, he wants to be in control. Obviously, he wants, like the article said, he wants the money to go to productive forces, sectors that would add even more value down the road. Okay, that's it for the video. Have a great day.